Adam here, welcome back to Sorare Assist. Got another lineup builder for you guys today, including my live results from the current game week, to see how I'm getting on. And I've done a bit of a strategy shift this week, that I'm going to try out a new strategy for this upcoming game week. So stick around to see what that is. Before all that, welcome any new managers to my Sorare Assist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell. And if you do like this video, please smash that like button as well. Each month I'll be doing a monthly giveaway. For the month of March, I'm giving away Rio Hatate. To enter, you need to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. At the end of the month, I'll pick a random video posted in March and random select a comment, and that person will win that month's card. So the more videos you comment on, the more entries you will have. I'll announce the winner right here at the end of the month, so stay tuned. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And for more free Sorare content, please check out sorareassist.com. Also consider joining our Patreon for weekly player scouting. And grab yourself a free 100-page Ultimate Guide to Sorare ebook. Links to all this good stuff are in the description. And if you've not signed up to Sorare yet, then I'd really appreciate it if you signed up using the link below, where you'll get 13 common cards and a free limited card. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's get stuck into this game week. The weekend is here, so there's a number of fixtures to get stuck into. So we'll start with my current results from the current game week, which is game week 252. So as you can see, we've got some really good scores for some of my players here. And I'm in line to win a tier 3 rare and 2 tier 3 limiteds. I've also hit the max threshold on my ETH reward as well. Really pleased with this week. As we know, there is still a delay on the rewards being handed out in this week tournaments due to some Opta issues. Hopefully we'll get that result shortly though, and then we can look at what prizes we've won. So let's just have a quick look at the teams that brought me the success. So we've got the All-Star Limited side here. No reward for this team unfortunately, because Carles Gil didn't play and he was my captain. The rest of the players did alright though, apart from Malcolm. All-Star Rare team did really well. Tier 3 rare incoming in here. I was only 9 points away from a tier 2. Mercier was the only one really that let me down. All-Star Pro was a bit of a letdown, no results here. No reward here with Bond and Navas having quiet weeks. Champion Europe Limited, no reward. Unfortunately, Mercier, Sinetti and Azuba had quiet weeks. Captain Bergwas did okay, considering he didn't score or got an assist in that game. Champion Europe Rare, no reward here. Captain Santos did well, but unfortunately Akanviv and Deviv didn't keep a clean sheet, which let them down the side a little bit. And Azuba didn't score in this game. Champion America Limited, tier 3 limited incoming here, 3 points away from a tier 2 limited, so that was a pretty good result there. Johnny Russell had a poor match unfortunately. The rest of the team though did well. Champion America Pro, no reward in this division. Lewis Morgan and Ferreira had quieter games, so that's probably let this side down here. Champion Asia Limited, unfortunately Bit Garam didn't play in this game, and Chang Min had a quiet game, so no reward in this division. Champion Europe Limited, no reward again here, although Alberto, Arnold and Plee had very good scores. Guadrado and Herrera unfortunately didn't. Under 23 Limited side, tier 3 reward incoming on this division, 23 points away from a tier 2 limited as well, which is very good considering if you look at some of the scores of Ferreira, Winjdal and Tani. This is quite good to actually still be in the prize with a tier 3. Under 23 Pro was absolutely atrocious, as you can see from the scores. Most of these players mainly come off the bench or didn't play in Leon Klassen's case. So with that being said, let's move on to this week's game week, and it's game week 253 that this lineup builder is for. So let's see which players I'm going to go for. I'm going to head over to the Sorare data lineup builder to construct my teams, as I always do on these weekly videos. And what I'm going to be doing this week, as I say, I've changed my strategy slightly. What I've done is I've sold up quite a lot of my limited cards. Now, I'm still going to be entering teams into the limited divisions, but I had a lot of cards that I wasn't really using, so I'm just going to concentrate mainly on just having a team of 5 for each of the regions, and then concentrating the best of my teams on the All-Star Limited division. So that seems to be where I am picking up most of my rewards. And with the free money that I've freed up from selling a lot of limited cards, I have managed to withdraw my initial investment now, so I actually play risk-free now on Sorare. And I also want to invest the remaining money on buying some more rare cards. I think I've drifted away from the rares recently with the limiteds being introduced, so I do want to try and concentrate more on the rare teams. And with a lot of the divisions nearly ending their seasons, I'm going to be looking to snap up some bargains in the summer for my rare teams. Another thing that I'm going to try out as well with regard to the rare teams, I'm going to concentrate probably majority of my best players on the All-Star Global 4 and also the Division 3 Rare Pro division as well. So I do feel that makes sense, and it looks like the probability of winning in those divisions is more likely than the other regional divisions. I will still be putting some regional sides in the other rare divisions as well, but we'll come on to that in a bit. I'm going to start now with my limited cards. Now, I've done a bit of research for this video on injuries and predicted lineups, that sort of thing, just so I know which players are expected to start, so that's going to enable me to pick the best possible teams. Okay, so let's have a look what I've got available then. So the All-Star Limited team. In terms of goalkeepers, so let's have a look. We've got a few choices here. Herrera looks to have quite a decent game actually. Sung Ryong as well does have a favourable fixture. It's going to be David Roof or Rung Song or Herrera. Now I am going to save Herrera for my Champion Europe side. I know they've got a good fixture, but they're not really keeping that many clean sheets anyway. And I think Rung Song has probably got a better chance of keeping a clean sheet here away to Sanfrecce Hiroshima. So I'm going to go with Sung Ryong in goal. In terms of defenders then, so we've got Douglas Santos here at home to Arsenal Tulsa. That should be an easy game for them as Arsenal Tulsa are actually fared from bottom. Cuadrado's got a very easy game as well at home to Salernitana. Senesi looks like a hard game away to Ajax, so he's probably not going to keep a clean sheet this week. Other potential options is a Tarte for Celtic. I'm hoping he will start that game as well, so he looks like a good option. He's actually the card that I'm giving away in this month's giveaway, if you guys have not seen that yet. Winsdal is an option as well for AZ, but I might need him for my under 21 side. I think it's going to be between Cuadrado and Santos, with Senesi not having an easy fixture though here against Ajax, and Cuadrado being my only likely decent Champion Europe defender. I'm gonna go with Van Elk here. Seems to be on good form. I'm gonna save Winsdal for my under 21 side, so I am gonna go with Van Elk here in the defender slot there. That is just so that I have got a team to put together in the other divisions. In terms of midfielders then, so the best choice is probably Carlos Gil, but there is a slight risk that he may get rested in this game. He's not predicted to start in the predicted lineups that I've looked at, so I think that's potential risk to start Carlos Gil in that game there, because he did play obviously only on Wednesday, so he might be rested for this game unfortunately, but big risk I know, so he might be rested for this game. Got Mercier as an option, he's decent. Dela Cruz as well. Szymanski home to Rostov, so that looks like an easy game for him, but again he's one that I'll probably want to use in my under 21 side. I've got Pizzi as well, but he's not got an easy fixture. Hollhauser is always an option. I think what I'm going to go with here is I'm going to go with Mercier. Got two of his cards, so I'm going to put Mercier in there. So forwards then, in terms of the forwards, the best option here is possibly Sane. I've also got Malcolm as well though, and Steven Bergwijn. I've also got Djouba as an option, so there's a few forward options here. I might go with two forwards actually here. Johnny Russell's got an hard game and he's also doubtful as well. So I'm going to go with Malcolm here and also Steven Bergwijn. So them two forwards look absolutely solid in this game. In terms of the captain, I am going to go with Malcolm. Fantastic AA, Bergwijn as well, but against this Feyenoord team, I don't think it's going to be the easiest fixture for them. So I am going to go with Malcolm as my captain. So that is completed now. I will save that and I will move on to my Champion Europe Limited side. So goalkeepers then, as we know, it's going to be Herrera. Defenders wise, Cuadrado. Midfielders, I've got Alberto or Arnold. I probably need to go with both of them actually. Forward is going to be Sane. And the extra slot, players doubtful, expected to return mid-April. He's expected, from what I've looked at though, he's expected to potentially be playing this game, but it's still a risk and he's not got the best fixture anyway. So I am going to go with Max Miller-Arnold. Even though he has an hard fixture, it's a pretty decent scorer generally. In terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Leroy Sané here. Obviously, he's one that I won for finishing third in this division. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to move on to my Challenger Europe Limited side. So in terms of the goalkeeper, I've got Davy Roof. I've also got Bayasit as well for Kayaspor. It doesn't look like he's going to be the first choice in that team. But I'm going to go with Davy Roof. Quality goalkeeper, is on really good form at the moment. In terms of defender, I'm going to actually go with... Now I'm just thinking here, I don't think I'm going to have a forward for my American lineup. Let me just go to my Champion America team, limited team, because I think, as I say, Russell is doubtful, I believe, for this game. So I'd probably have to use Ferreira there as my forward. So that's going to wipe out the under-23 team, which isn't the end of the world, really. So based on that, I could possibly improve my other teams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ferreira in there. I'm going to quickly pick my Champion America side. I've got De La Cruz here, who's found in his form. Defender's going to be Wagner. And the goalkeeper is going to be Blake to make that Philadelphia stack. In terms of the extra choice, it's probably going to be Mihalovic, although they have got a difficult fixture there. Ladero is expected to, is back to fitness now, but he could be on the bench. And I've also got Marshall Rutte here. I'm going to actually go with Marshall Rutte because he is expected to be back. His injury wasn't that bad. He did go off in the last game, but he is expected to be back for this game. These two, Gil, Russell and Mihalovic, are all doubtful. So is Ladero's just coming back from fitness, so he's probably going to start on the bench potentially. Mihalovic could potentially be rested actually after playing in the CONCACAF Champions League. Same with Gil. And Russell has a potential hamstring injury. So I don't want to take any risks here. Big names to leave out, but I don't want any did not plays. In terms of the captain, I'm going to go with De La Cruz here. I think he's due a goal or assist. Fantastic scorer as well. His AA is looking pretty solid. So I will save that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my All-Star Limited team. Because with obviously the news that the under-21 side probably isn't going to be a possibility, I am going to have Winsdale available for my Challenger Europe team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Douglas Santos in the defender slot there. In terms of midfielder, I'm going to actually take Mercier out because I think Szymanski is probably the best possible solid option here and put him in that slot there. As you can see now, this team looks absolutely solid. Now if I did have the extra cards that I've sold, I would probably put them into my other teams and this All-Star team wouldn't be as strong as it is now. This is one of the reasons I've decided to go for quality over quantity. And I'm going to save that as well now. I'm going to go back to my Challenger Europe team. So I've only got David Roof at the minute, but as I say, I'm going to put Winsdal in the defender slot there. Tate is an option, but with me giving him away on the in this month's competition, I'm not wanting to use him at the minute, just because that is going to be the case in the future. He's not going to be available to me. Zakarian now looks like a good option here for this limited side, with the under-21 side not being used this week. In terms of the forward, I'm going to go with Dazuba. And the midfield slot, I'm going to go with Mercier as originally planned here actually. So as you can see, this is another solid looking side here. In terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Zakarian. Looks like he's on form recently. And I'm going to save that lineup. So let's move on to my Champion Asia team now. So goalkeeper, I'm going to go with Sejeno. He was a new signing. I have obviously got Tani now available because I'm potentially not going to put an under-23 side in. But I've got a difficult fixture anyway and they generally don't keep clean sheets, Shonan. Defender is going to be an easy choice, the fantastic Fukumori. Midfielder, I'm going to go with Lee Chang-min for Jeju. I would also definitely go for Yoon Bitgaram as well, but it's uncertain whether he's going to start. He has just come back from injury. It was sub in the last game, but it wasn't used. So I am waiting until he starts consistently before risking it. But I have got Shin Jin Ho temporarily to put in the team, but he is one that I'm going to look to sell. Up front, this is again another easy choice, and I'm going to go with Cecina. So captain, I think it's going to have to be Cecina just because his AA is really good. So yeah, I'm happy with that team, and I'll go ahead and save that. I'm just going to have a quick look at my under-23 limited team, just to see if there's a potential team that I can put out here. I'm going to go with Bybit in goal over Tanny. In terms of defender, I'm going to go with Van Elk. Now, let's see if I've got any midfielders available. I've got Salamekas, but I don't think he's going to start. He's been coming on as a substitute. Sorry, he's expected to start this game. So I am going to go with Mihailovic. I know he's potentially doubtful, but he maybe could come on as a sub. And I'm going to go with Sarri as well. I might as well just put a team in here, because you never know, the stars may align. Now, I've got the choice of Ohio and Oda here. Now, Oda did start in the midweek game in the Champions League match, the Asia Champions League. So I'm not going to put him in this game. I don't think he's going to start this one. I am going to go with Ohio, even though it's probably going to be a substitute. I'm going to put him in anyway, because like I say, Oda played midweek, so he's probably going to be a substitute as well. In terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Mihailovic as the captain. I know he's potentially not going to start, but if he does start and have a good game, I'm going to need him to do that anyway to have any chance of getting a decent score with this team. So I'll save that. So I've got 5 pretty solid teams there. Challenger Europe's been saved. My Champion Europe also looks solid as well. So yeah, very happy with that. And my All-Star Rare looks really, really solid. So really happy with those teams. They're all saved. So I'm going to go on to my rare teams now, starting with the Champion Rare first of all. So goalkeeper, Silerson is still injured. So it looks like it's going to be a common card in that division. So I'm going to come back to this division. Because with me using a common card, that's really going to push down my chances of potentially winning the prize there. So I might use some of these players in the Global All-Star Division 4 instead. So I'm going to go on to my Challenger Rare. So I've got Bybit and Akinvive as an option here. I'm going to go with Akinvive as my goalie option. Bybit can potentially be used in my under-23 side. Defender, I think this looks like so I've got Douglas Santos or Devive here. Obviously these are both good options. I don't know if I want to use my Douglas Santos for the Global All-Star 4 division. Let's just check what the chance of points are for winning a prize in the Global All-Star 4. So it's 330, and the Challenger Europe is saying it's 269. So it's probably best to use Douglas Santos in this team. So I'm going to put Douglas Santos in the defender slot. Midfielders, Remy Cabella is obviously out of our club at the moment. Vorma is not like to start this. One that I bought recently because it just looked too cheap to me. Blyakov is a potential option here. Return to Ruben Kazan. Mercier as well is a pretty decent option. Potentially Pizzi. I think the best one is probably going to go with I think I'm going to go with Mercier here. I do want to save a Blyakov for my under-23 side. And the forward, we've got a Tate here as a potential, and also, although Furuhashi, but he's still injured, isn't he? So, we've got Tate or Dzuba. Sobolov is probably going to be on the bench. I'm going to go with Dzuba here, because I might be able to use a Tate in my under-23 division. I've got Bybit. I've purchased Bybit this week. He's obviously an under-23 goalkeeper. So I've got an under-23 goalkeeper now. And I think he is going to start as well for Kayaspor in the Turkish League. In terms of the extra slot then, I'm going to go with either Pizzi or Hallhauser. Although Pizzi is not really finding his feet at his new club. He has been coming on as a sub, or only playing 45 minutes. Hallhauser's not playing at all. Klassen's not in the starting lineup yet. I think this Philip Wen is still injured as well, isn't he? He's a card that I won recently. So I'm going to go with Pizzi here. I think he's the only option I've got there. And in terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Douglas Santos. Fantastic player. It is absolutely brilliant. He is capable of getting an assist as well, or even potentially getting on the score sheet. So I'm going to go with him as the captain. I will save that. I'm going to take this into account though, having to have Pizzi in this team, just with him being a sub at the minute. That's really going to potentially affect this team. So I'm going to look what other lineups I've got, and I might be tempted to use some of these players in my other teams. So let's move on to the America Rare. So goalkeeper wise, I've got Brad Gazan or Jonathan Bond. I'm going to go with Brad Gazan here. I think he's a solid option. Defender, I've got Wagner, who's actually got a difficult fixture this week. And also Paulo Diaz is an option as well for River Plate. I'm playing Boca Juniors though, so I wouldn't say that's the easiest fixture in the world. I'm going to go with Wagner here because he's generally is the defender I use in the American lineups. In terms of midfielders, I've got Rusnak as an option. Also got Valdez as well for Club America. Lewis Morgan looks like I have a decent fixture as well. So I've got a few decent midfielder options here actually. I think Lewis Morgan is probably looking the best shout, so I'm going to go with him. In terms of the forward, it's going to have to be Jesus Ferreira because Raul Rodriguez is still injured and Pulido is obviously out for the season. So extra slots, I've got Paulo Diaz, Diego Valdez as an option, and also Rusnak. Valdez does look like I have a good fixture, and Pablo Diaz also has a fairly decent fixture. I think I'm going to go with Valdez here though, because he has been on good form recently. He's been scoring as well and getting some assists. In terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Lewis Morgan. Hopefully he can get some more goals as he did in a couple of game weeks ago where he got an hat-trick. So hopefully he can get back on the score sheet. I will save that. I'm going to just have a look now at my under 23 rare team. So I've got Bayasit, who was a new signing. Picked him up for £671, so I'm hoping he starts. Defender is going to be Daviv. Midfielder, Ablayakov. Forward, I can have a Tate here because he's still eligible for under 23. And the extra slot, I'm going to go with Sarri here, I think. The only other option I've got in the forward slot for the under 23 division is obviously Jesus Ferreira that I'm using in my America Rare team. I'm just going to look at the odds of winning or the points needed to win in the Champion America division this week. So 296 and in the under 23 290. So I'm actually going to cancel this lineup, and I'm going to put Ferreira in my under 23 team instead. So obviously the rewards in that division are going to be worth a lot more potentially than the America division. Similar points as well needed, although the under 23 division does look like slightly better. And I think this team looks really solid as well. So I am going to go with Jesus Ferreira in the final slot. Now this team looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go with Tate as the captain. Bit of a risk. He has been, he's not been on the best of form recently. Did start as a substitute in the last game though for in the league. Did start in the cup game however, but I'm hoping he will start this match, and hopefully he will have a storming game as well. So I'm going to save that. So quite a few decisions to be made this week. I'm just going to look at my Asia Rare team then. I think this is going to be a straightforward pick here. So I've got Dong Hyung in goal. I'm going to go with him. Defender, obviously it's going to be Fukumori. Midfielder, I've got Bitgaram or Aguila here. Now Bitgaram is not playing recently and Aguila was a sub in the last game, so that poses a bit of a problem here. I've also got Jo Min Kyu as well as a forward option and Magoza as well as a forward option. The only problem here is that Bitgaram might not play, so again this is another team that potentially going to be affected here. You need quite a high score as well to get in amongst the rewards. So I'm actually going to get rid of these for now. I'm going to come back to this team I think. So I'm going to have a look at my all-star rare team now. So goalkeeper wise, I'm going to go with Brad Kazan here. He doesn't seem to have the easiest fixture. Defenders, Wagner's got a difficult game. Fukumura is always an option I suppose. I've also got Paulo Diaz as well, and obviously won't be putting a American lineup in this week, so I've got no forward. Got Leo Dubious as well, he's potentially going to play. I don't think Sandro's going to start this game here, unfortunately, for Torino. We've also got Jesus Navas as a possibility as well for Seville. I think I'm going to go with Paulo Diaz here. It looks like the best option there. Midfielder, Mkhitaryan's still suspended. I think he's got one game left to serve. I've got Lewis Morgan as a definite option because obviously I won't be putting an America team together. And obviously Valdez as well. I've also got Pellegrini as a potential option. I'm afraid I'm going to go with Lewis Morgan here. And also Valdez. The forward, I've got Aspas, who do have quite favourable fixture to Betis. Alex Sanchez probably won't start this game. Furuhashi is injured. Magoz is an option, but I still got the Asia team in mind as well that I potentially want to put out. So I'm going to go with Aspas here as my forward. In terms of the captain then, I'm going to go with Aspas. He's always capable of getting the score sheet, and his all-round score is decent as well. Now I'm just going to look at the Asia team again, because I think I'm just going to put the Asia rare team in here, because I've got plenty of goalies to pick from. So I'm going to put Dong in goal, Fukumori in defence. We're actually going to put Bitgaram here, because I think there's a chance that he could play this game. Because he was the sub last time in the last game after coming back from injury, an unused sub. So surely he's going to get his chance to start in this match. And I'm going to go with Joe Min Kyu up front with Magoza. Captain wise, I am going to go with Joe Min Kyu. Got an assist and a goal in the last game, so I think he's going to carry on that form. So that team looks pretty solid as long as Bitgaram starts. Now I'm going to go back to my All-Star Pro team now, and I'm going to put a team in this division. I've got Hong Hu or Jonathan Bond. I think I'm going to go with Jonathan Bond here, because obviously I've not got an American lineup that I can put together. Defenders, I've got Wagner as a good option. I've also got Leo Dubious, although I am going to bear in mind that I might potentially want to put a Champion Europe team out. And Navas as well. I've got plenty of defenders there in the Champion Europe division though, so I am going to go with Kai Wagner here. In midfield, I've got Rusnak, looks like a decent option. Not probably going to be able to use him in any other teams. And also Pellegrini as well. I'm going to go with Rusnak here. I think it's the forward option that's going to be a problem here. I don't know if I've got any forwards left. I've got Sanchez, Sobolov, but I think he's probably going to be a sub here. Could come on as a sub though, you never know. And Sanchez come on as a sub in the last game as well and he scored. But I'm going to go with Sobolov here. Hopefully he can get some game time this week. And the extra slot, I'm going to go with Pellegrini here in the extra slot. So this team looks pretty solid to me. Only doubtful one really is Sobolov. But yeah, fairly happy with this team. I think Sanchez could potentially play this one. He might even get his opportunity because he did score in the last game. So I'm actually going to take Sobolov out here because I'm not going to have a Champion Europe team to put together anyway. So I'm going to take a risk and put Sanchez in here. And I'm also going to put Sanchez as the captain. Reason for that is if he doesn't play, this team has got no chance anyway. If he does play and he gets a goal, this team has got a very good chance if the other players perform. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to go with Sanchez as my captain. So I will save that now. So we'll just have a quick look at the other teams. I don't think I've got any other potential teams to put out, because the forwards here for the Champion Europe team, obviously the only one I've got left is Skov. He's injured. Challenger Europe team looks decent apart from Pizzi. So this is a bit of a weakest link, this team actually. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually take these out. I'm going to take these out here. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to use some of those quality players in some of my other divisions. So the All-Star Rare, I'm going to make this into a super team. So I'm going to get rid of Diaz, and I'm going to put Santos in there. I'm also going to get rid of Valdez, and I'm going to put Vorma in his place. And I'm going to get rid of Aspas and put Dejube in his position. And I'm tempted to put Akinviv in this team as well, because I think he's probably got a better chance than Guzan of keeping a clean sheet. So I'm going to put Guzan in that team, Akinviv in this position. So I think this team looks very solid now. I think I'd rather condense some of my best cards into one team than putting them in other teams, especially when we've got doubts over some players. So I am going to go with this team here, and captain wise I'm going to go with Douglas Santos. I will save that, and I'm just going to go back to my rare pro team, because I am going to potentially change this slightly now. I'm going to take out Sanchez there, and I'm going to put in Aspas. And the rest of the team looks pretty solid to me, but I did prefer Guzan over Bond in the goalkeeper position. So I am going to put in Guzan there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go with Captain Aspas. So that is all my team saved. So quite a lot of things to think about here, and I think I've put some solid teams together from all the players that I've got. The best that I can put together, really. No real doubts in terms of the teams. So I think that is the best thing to do in terms of when you're building your SO5 teams. So let's go over to my saved lineups just to confirm all those teams there with the chops and changes this week. So let's have a look at the all-star team then. I think this team is looking really, really solid. So I've got Jung Sung Ryong in goal, Santos in defence, Szymanski in midfield, Malcolm as my captain, and also Steven Berghuis as well in the forward line. All-star rare is looking good as well, with Akinvive in goal, Santos in defence, Mercy in midfield with Morgan, and Zuba up front. My all-star rare pro also looks decent, with Guzan in goal, Wagner in defence, Pellegrini in midfield with Rusnak, and Aspas up front as my captain. Challenge Europe team also looks very solid, with Roof in goal, Winjdal in defence, Zakarian as my captain, Mercier in midfield, and Juba up front. Now, Zakarian I might consider actually putting into this global all-star team and maybe move Berghuis to this challenger team. I think that's going to make sense, and then I'm going to have a Dynamo Moscow two-player stack there in terms of Szymanski and Zakarian. So I am going to probably do that actually when I finalise my teams. Moving on to the Champion America Limited, I've got Blake in goal, Wagner in defence, that's my Philadelphia stack. Got Marshall Rutti in midfield with Dela Cruz as my captain and Jesus Ferreira up front. Asia team looks good as well, with Sejeno and Fukumori making up the Sapporo stack. I've also got Lee Chang-min in midfield with Shin Jun-ho, and I've gone for the captain Cecina. Champion Asia Rare looks good with Dong Hyung in goal, Fukumori in midfield, in defence. I've got Yoon Bit Garam in my midfield position, and I'm hoping he starts. He's a slight risk there. Magoza up front, and Joe Min Kyu up front as my captain as well. Champion Europe Limited looks very good. Herrera in goal, Gudrauda in defence, Arnold and Alberto in midfield, and captain Leroy Sané. Under 23 team is a little bit more of a punt, with due to Sarri having a very difficult fixture, Mihailovic potentially not playing, and Ahayo on potentially coming as a sub, but one that I've put together anyway to put a team in there because you never know. Under 23 rare team though looks really solid this week. Bayasit in goal. This is the first and this is actually the first time I've been able to put out fully strengthed under 23 rare team. That is because I've not actually had a rare goalkeeper that plays until this point. I've got Daviv and Ablayakov in defence and midfield for CSK Moscow. Got Jesus Ferreira up front with Rio Tate as my captain. So I'm hoping Rio Tate starts in this game. So yeah, some very solid looking lineups there. I will, as I'm submitting my teams on the main site, potentially look to fill up some of the other squads as well. Maybe using some common cards, just in case, because you never know. So that was all the lineups for this week. Some really good solid looking teams there. Good luck to you guys this game week as well. Hopefully you have some success. And you never know, I'm hoping that I might even get another podium finish. You never know. Okay, thanks for watching. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, each month I'll be doing a monthly giveaway. For the month of March, I'm giving away Rio Tate. To enter, you need to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. At the end of the month, I'll pick a random video posted in March and random select a comment, and that person will win that month's So Rare card. I'll announce the winner right here on the channel, so make sure you stay tuned and ping that notification bell. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and for more free So Rare content, please check out sorassist.com. Don't forget to check out our Patreon as well for weekly scouting, and grab yourself your free 100-page guide to So Rare. And also, if you are signed up to So Rare, then use the link below to get 13 common cards and a limited card. Okay, thanks for watching, I'll see you again soon.